Welcome to my West Side Garden Railroad. Today we're train spotting in the High Sierra and we'll visit the Camp Reynolds side, which is actually under construction. More on that in a second. The first train is headed by Shay number 12, hauling a string of empty log cars up the grade towards Big Rock Cut. The ruling grade on my garden railroad is 4%, with a 4.8% peak right after the cut. This morning, the 12 spot is followed by a special train with number 8, bringing freshly built camp cabins into the woods. Those model buildings are homemade from PVC, hardboard, and structured mats. I use several sources from books and online communities for plans and details. At the cut, clearance is tight, but as common on many logging railroads, loading gauges are not that critical. While my garden railroad should represent the spirit of the prototype, there's still a lot of freelancing allowed. As I did at Reynolds, where I used some structures from Camp 45 to create a repair shop for trucks and dozers. The new cabins arrived at Camp Reynolds and got temporarily placed. There are some more structures to be built, such as the cookhouse and a generator shed. In addition, a parts car will round up the repair shop scene. Meanwhile, the 12 spot arrives to reload at Buffalo Landing and pushes the loaded cars out onto the main line before pulling them into the siding. My garden railroad layout is inspired by the final years of the West Side Lumber Company, capturing the seasons 1958 to 1960. The reload at Camp 45 was already shut down and new reloads were set up, such as Buffalo Landing at the hillside above Clavey River. To pick up the caboose, the 12 spot pushes the string of empties behind the turnout. Switching at Buffalo is always challenging due to the lack of tracks to handle two strings of cars at the same time. After contact with the dispatcher's office down at Tuolumne via phone, the trains has to wait for Shay number 8 before heading townbound to the mill. Shay number 12 is also an LGB model and got slightly detailed. It's the first model with weathering applied. Others may follow as well. The log cars are based on LGB models, which got lowered and new log bunks equipped. Non-revenue cars are scratch-built on LGB flat cars. Somewhat later, we see the train rumbling through Camp Reynolds in a kind of aerial view. The sequence of the locations doesn't line up with the rail map, but makes good use of the possibilities in my backyard. The next morning sees number 8 again, assigned to another string of empties. The 8 spot is a unique model, kit bashed from a LGB number 12 Shay as well. I lengthened the frame, swapped the truck and frame design, and rebuild parts of the superstructure to match number 8's appearance. The train comes to a stop at the water tower to top up the tinder tank, before continuing the trip to the reload. Some while later, the train returns with another load for the mill. This camera angle will represent the look from the cookhouse's porch. This half-relief structure is not yet built, but will add a great backdrop scene for the camp and provide a destination for the box cars on the layout. Once all the structures for Camp Reynolds are built, the groundwork will be modeled with concrete, artificial green, and trees to make the camp an enclosed diorama. Well, everything comes to an end, and after a very enjoyable evening, the last train is sent out of Tuolumne to pick up remaining cars from the layout. This train is headed by the recently added Shay number 11. West Side geeks will know that road number 11 was not assigned to any loco, so this Bachmann model is a freelance loco for now, but plans are made to kit bash this engine into a more prototypical Shay number 14 later this year. Finally, the last train passes the road crossing just before the mill entrance and while rolling around the bend. Our today's West Side show is over. This is an aerial overview of the upper portion of the Garden Railroad layout, while I'm preparing trains for the next scenes to be filmed. The basic design is a loop with a Y at the far right corner. Usually, trains from Tuolumne head clockwise through Reynolds in the right foreground to Buffalo at the left side of the loop. The connection between Buffalo and the Y is seldom used during operation sessions, but allows to turn engines or for continuous running if desired. In the far background, the neighbor's wooden fence marks the location of Tuolumne. And here we have the old station of Ronya Springs, which will eventually get rebuilt into Tuolumne once Reynolds and Buffalo are finished. There are some virtual photos from the planning software attached next to give you an idea of my vision. I hope you enjoyed today's trip into my West Side Lumber Company adventure, and stay tuned for future updates. Bye.